Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
One pedal at a time. That's the motto Daniel Hurd lives by, and live is what this is all about. You see, Daniel is a suicide survivor, and he's using his bicycle to spread a very important message across the country.
Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer has his story, a trip to Fargo, and someone he met along the way that you're definitely going to want to hear from.
Another state for Daniel Hurd to check off the list.
Today was a struggle, but like I said, every pedal that I made it, crossing over this bridge really made it worth it.
And that means another place to spread his message. You see, a couple years ago, Daniel's life was very different. He just got out of the hospital after his third suicide attempt, and believe it or not, he was already planning to do it again. But then, something happened.
A friend got me on a bicycle, and little did I know after going for 3 rides that it would change my life.
He found a new form of therapy, and pedal after pedal, he's learned to focus on the now.
It made me realize how much I worried about my future due to financial struggles and a lot of my past, which has dealt with PTSD from childhood, being physically, sexually, mentally abused, early age drug use, and military PTSD.
He was looking for ways to heal, and his therapist suggested doing something to keep him positive. And since he's a veteran, he wanted to visit the people he served with, no matter where they live in the country.
For whatever reason, light bulbs went off in my head, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna ride my bike, and I'm gonna visit everybody that I know that I served with that I possibly can.
And now, about a year and a half later, he's still going strong and visiting places he's never been before, like North Dakota.
It's 175 pounds of gear with everything.
He started off the journey with no savings, but Hurd tells us generous people he's met along the way have helped him keep going, some even giving him a pillow to rest his head at night.
I lost my 16-year-old son to suicide 2.5 years ago.
One of those people is Tina Black. She tells us she understands Daniel's journey because she lives it.
And know exactly the feelings and the emotions and the frustrations that go along with trying to help people understand.
As for Daniel, he still has quite a few stops to make on his journey, but he plans on spreading his words of hope far beyond the miles he pedals.
A lot of people, unfortunately, are afraid to get stereotyped. It's not worth putting yourself at risk. It's more important to get the help that you need.
And if you happen to see him during his trek across America, give him a wave. He's happy to say hello to anyone who might need it more than they think. In Fargo, Melanie Palmer, Valley News Live.
If you're interested in helping with Daniel's mission, there's a fundraising event happening for the entire month of September, which is Suicide Prevention Month. This is a community ride that you can get involved with anywhere you are. For more information on that, visit our website, valleynewslive.com.
Tomorrow, a woman with terminal cancer will tell her story before a Minnesota House committee that's considering a bill to let adults with less than 6 months to live get medication to end their lives. The woman has been living with stage 4 ovarian cancer since 2015. The bill in question is patterned after an Oregon law that has been in effect for more than 20 years and has spread to 7 other states.
The District Court of North Dakota has granted a preliminary injunction in an abortion rights case. It argues that a recent law forcing doctors to tell patients about abortion reversing technologies forces doctors to misinform their patients because the technology doesn't exist. U.S. District Court Chief Judge Daniel Hovland said, in part, state legislatures should not be mandating unproven medical treatments or requiring physicians to provide patients with misleading and inaccurate information. Proponents of the bill say they're baffled by the ruling.
Curious why somebody wouldn't want to allow a mother to make a choice to save a baby's life. I think the good thing is it's making the younger generation more pro-life as they understand more, as technology reveals more that there actually is a baby there that we're dealing with.
Governor Burgum's office directed us to his statement in March, saying in part, it's worth providing this information if it helps one person who wants to reverse the process.
Some people in the neighborhood of West Fargo say that they were scared when they discovered a man they didn't know standing in their home Saturday night. 21-year-old Jacob King stands charged with several counts of criminal trespass after stopping at least 3 homes, entering 2 of them, and banging on another's window. In an email, King's mother tells us her son spent the day tailgating and drank way too much. He was dropped off at the wrong house and was not looking to harm anyone. Jacob himself reached out to us saying he wanted to apologize to the families involved. The West Fargo man, Corey Norton, tells us he was in his kitchen when King came in and tried to crash on Norton's couch.
I said, "Get the F out," is what I said to him. And he got up and said, "Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you mad or offend you," and trying to shake my hand. I'm like, "No, just get out."
King stands charged with 2 Class C felonies and a Class A misdemeanor.
The clouds parted today, at least momentarily, and crews headed back out to continue on 52nd Avenue South. Recent rain has delayed work there.
And as Valley News Team's Callie Hubbard found out, drivers in the area are anxious for work to wrap up.
Shelby Amsley Bensley enjoys running through the Deer Creek neighborhood. She is one of a growing number living here that have places to go and people to see.
Yeah, it's been pretty brutal. I think everyone's on the same page with it.
The massive project along 52nd Avenue South has thrown a wrench into everyone's travel plans all summer. Now, school traffic is making things worse.
There's a lot of traffic coming down very few roadways, so it's probably not as safe either.
I'm looking forward to the construction being done. At the same time, it has caused a couple headaches here and there.
But now, all hands are on deck, and they don't plan on throwing in the rag until Mother Nature says so. As you can see behind me, crews are actively working on scene right now, working so hard to get everything done. They said they started this patch at around 3:30 afternoon Tuesday, and they said they're not stopping until they get to Veterans, which should be about 1 a.m. Wednesday. The project manager wants you to know that even after connecting this stretch from Veterans Boulevard to 63rd Street, there's more work to be done, and many people living in and around Deer Creek can't wait for crews to ramp up so they can enjoy smoother driving and fewer headaches.
That's what I hear. It should be done by the end of October.
In Fargo, Callie Hubbard, Valley News Live.
Meanwhile, not far from there, work along a stretch of Cheyenne is expected to wrap up this month. It's an area along 32nd and 40th Avenues.
The numbers are in for the most recent Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over enforcement campaign in North Dakota. A total of 573 citations were given during this time. 92 were alcohol related. Of those, 55 were arrested for DUI. There were 37 arrests or citations for other alcohol related violations, such as minor in consumption or open container, and also 23 drug related arrests.
A mother from Roseau, Minnesota is appearing on Dr. Phil tomorrow in a segment called Social Media Meltdown: Parenting Gone Wild. The young mother of 2 was live streaming on Facebook this past spring, upset after a conversation with police officers and her children's school. Her ranting, profanity, and threatening comments sent the Roseau Elementary School into lockdown.
Parents Gone Wild.
She's 16! You sick!
You had a guy in the closet at 2:30 in the morning.
And viral.
You're never going to be able to work in elementary ever again when I'm done with you. Those are my children!
What got you so upset that you started live streaming?
I was really mad.
The school, when they saw this, went on lockdown.
Oh.
And guess what?
It gets worse.
New Dr. Phil.
Be sure to tune in to KVLY tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with no wait weather.
Well, after a gray start to the day and soupy conditions for much of it, things quieted down this evening and we were treated to a pretty fair evening by recent standards. 56 degrees right now at Hector International Airport and the wind only 3 miles per hour. Moorhead, you have 55. Temperatures a little bit cooler where you see the greens in northern Minnesota. Lakes Country 57 for Detroit Lakes and for Grand Forks this hour. Valley City, you're at that same reading. A little milder down to the south at 61 in both Gwinnett, pardon me, and in the Sisseton area. Here is a look at the radar right now. We are starting to see some returns showing up in southeast North Dakota. The heavier rain that's likely reaching the ground out west on Interstate 94 near Dickinson, and South Dakota seeing some weather. As we take you in a little closer to the Southern Valley, we're seeing some green here on the screen, not far from Hankinson, not far from our live shot at the Dakota Magic Casino. Here's a look at that right now. And moments ago, there were raindrops falling through the light there, so a little bit of light shower activity in the far southern valley near the South Dakota border. Don't be surprised if a few of those drops make it down to your windshield tonight. But where the brunt of the activity is way down south. Southern parts of South Dakota, northern and central parts of Nebraska that have been under tornado and thunderstorm watches, and active severe thunderstorm warnings continue right now. And one active tornado warning here for this storm moving into the Clayton area, moving north and east right now. So all of this activity very stout, very strong, but well to our south. Some of it is moving in our general direction. Your hour-by-hour forecast shows as we head to bed tonight, temperatures will stay put not far from where they're at right now. And as we go through the middle of the overnight, there'll be a chance of some scattered showers in our eastern South Dakota counties and maybe Richland County, maybe southern parts of the Otter Tail County area. Patchy, dense fog setting up once again as we start our day. Temperatures will generally be in the 50 to 55 degree range for most areas. And we start out, for the most part, dry, minus the drizzle and fog and low clouds, and those linger around through the midday hour. We'll notice more easterly wind in our southern counties where you see Hutch's arrows crayoned onto the map here. Then as we go through the afternoon, a break in the clouds. The wind will be brisk, 15 to 25 miles per hour, and late in the day, an increasing chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms moving in from the west to the east. So a very good chance of rain Wednesday night and into Thursday. For your day in Fargo-Moorhead, 55 to start. Wind northeasterly, then easterly at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Temperatures peaking in the mid-60s with not much sunshine across the valley. Mid-50s in the far north. A lot of clouds building in late, and that late day chance of showers mainly after the nighttime drive. Rick Julian capturing an awesome photo here of a monarch butterfly on a beautiful flower in Park Rapids. Here is a look at your planning forecast. Wednesday night and into Thursday morning, we'll have a very good chance of rain, some of it quite heavy once again. Then for much of Thursday afternoon, gusty winds from the north and from the west, over 40 miles per hour at times, will keep us on the cool side, although we'll still have a few sprinkles Thursday afternoon. It won't be an all-day soaker like Saturday was. Friday, we stay cool, but look at this warming trend, huh? I will take it. 70s and yes, 80s are in the offing. One model saying we'll get up to the upper 80s, but I'm not sold on that yet.
We like that model. We'd like you to go with that model.
Oh, okay. We'll give it more consideration tomorrow.
Thanks, Edge. Later on Valley News Live at 10, the vaping epidemic is continuing to hit schools hard, even locally. Up next, we get an inside look at one area school and what they're doing about the vaping problem.